Are you ready for these IFRS 17 challenges? My name is Birch and I deal with insurance, finance and change. IFRS 17 is a big topic and I'll be attending a conference by Marcus Evans on managing contracts under IFRS 17. These are some of the discussion points we may discuss on the third day. I break down IFRS 17 into three very broad categories of technical, people and practical. Technical is about what needs to be done. People is about who is involved, and practical is about how to do it. So some of the technical issues are the policies for the accounting policies that accountants will need to create and agree. How to deal with the transition from the current way of doing things to the IFRS 17 way of doing things. How to get your data and your information together in order to produce the disclosures. Whether to build or buy software and what is needed from that, and to also understand where each part of the process needs to be done in the actuarial world, in the software, or later on in the accounting world. There may be some special things that need to be done for long-term business and for reinsurance. There are plenty of issues around the products there. Now, for the people side, it's very easy to underrate this, but it's about who's involved. It's about stakeholder management upwards to the CFO, the finance director, and getting the budget for the project approved. Also, externally, investors need to know that, and some companies have left a very long time to communicate that with real numbers for external investors. There's a lot of ambiguity and uncertainty around IFRS 17. There are some amendments that are still being made, and as well as that, there needs to be settled down some industry practice. IFRS 17 is essentially multidisciplinary. There are actuaries involved, accountants involved, data people, software people, very senior people, external people, software vendors, consultants or contractors, many different people involved. And that's a point in itself. What mix of people do you want on the team? Do you want a lot of internal people, and do you have enough? Do you want contractors? Do you want consultants? And what are the pros and cons of all of those? So with so many people, leading it could be a challenge, both from the number of people, the multidisciplinary aspect, and the fact that there's still many unanswered questions and difficult to answer questions because they're either not yet settled down or they are quite technical. So there's a leading aspect, and also possibly coaching or training to make sure that people know what they need to know and work together well. On a practical point of view, what I mean by this is the project side and the processes, which is separate to the detailed technical questions. So how do you do IFRS 17? There's a planning and a budgeting side of things, making sure you understand all the things that need to be done for that. There's the mix of people and hiring those people at the right time. There's the methodology for project management. Agile doesn't seem like a great one for a big regulatory project, and yet if you use a waterfall or Prince2 method, are you spending too much time planning? And do you have the right gates, etc.? So how you actually do a very big project is worthwhile to consider. There may be many work streams, and it's a multi-year project, so it's worth thinking about how to make that work. And it may well be global if your company is global, and you'll have different, potentially different business units and head offices wanting different things out of the solution. So I'm Birch. These are some of the discussion points we may bring up at the conference, and please do keep in touch.